It's been wonderful. It's the foundation of it is that we have shareholders that are enormously long in their view of what their aspiration is for what we seek to achieve together. And a lot of it is also about values. So we aren't driven by numerical outcomes and so forth. It's really, how do we want to make a particular impact in the industry? So one of the first things we did, and it's coincidental, but on the 16th of November 2016 we launched medical malpractice in South Africa, and on the 18th of November I became the CEO. It was totally, coincidental that way around. But the point about us launching medical malpractice, and I'm describing the journey, is that we see doctors in South Africa as a national asset. What's happening about them being sued left, right and centre, and very often for the wrong reasons, is that they are being hounded out of the industry in very unfair terms, with great respect to patients where some mistake has happened and a patient does need corrective surgery or whatever it means, and on that basis we instantly want to look after the patient. So if you go back to one of my first interviews, the strapline was, it's about the patient. It's not about us saying, oh, we've got enough money to defend the doctor for 15 years, the patient can fry. But coming back, doctors are South Africa's national asset. They are fantastically socially orientated, and where there's a small mistake from time to time, it should be addressed immediately, not delayed in court. That's our view. So what we said to the doctors is that come on board with us, we know we're a new player, this is how we're going to change the risk environment, and if you don't have an adverse risk outcome, your premium stays the same for 3 years. So not only have we reduced your premium, we're fixing the premium for 3 years, whereas the premium had gone up 700% in the prior 6 years in that industry. Responsive, innovative, risk first, then insurance. If you don't understand the risk, what do you do with an insurance policy? And I keep on saying to the doctors, anybody, the insurance policy is only a ticket to some money. It doesn't solve the risk, okay? It's after the fact. What we've got to do is understand how we're working with our clients. And so that journey in the context of building the infrastructure and building the skills, expertise, responsiveness, technology in the business as the journey that I've had over a year and a half has been fun. It's been brilliant. We start our ExCo meeting every 2 weeks by saying we add value to stakeholders and we leave the environment better off. And I look around the table and saying, show me in the last 2 weeks how you've added value to stakeholders, policyholder, supplier, customer, anybody. And we commit to that. So each one of us have to personally show what we've done about that. And how have we all left the environment better off? Well, I actually picked up a plastic bag or did something about this or whatever it is. We need to find ways in which we're always looking for that. And so that's the beginning of the ethos. And the second one is the statement that I said earlier, Constantia, your trusted brand. So in that context, we're saying we want our people to be responsive and proactive about finding a positive outcome to the risk issue. So if you're going to be responsive, you've got to be energetic, enthusiastic, all the E's, excited and so forth. And in that context, you show people who are skilled in the industry saying, look, here's the mandate, this is what we want you to do. We really want to deploy your talent so that you can show how you've added value to somebody. Now, that added value could have been enhancing the relationship of a broker with a client by solving a risk problem differently, by creating, as we have with our in-biz product for the SME sector, where we've got a special section which is unique in the market called any other commercial risk. So it's no longer incumbent on the broker to guess what risk the client's going to have. We'll cover it under reasonable circumstances of an unknown peril. So we actually want to leave the client better off. So non-damage, business interruption, fraud, and key person or group life cover are the 3 areas that we're trying to add value in the small business environment. We already have a business called The Insurance Club, which is going to become Constantia on demand. With the Insurance Club, you can pay for your car insurance 1 kilometer at a time. Okay? The next one is that we've joint ventured with a business called Yasure, which is really behavior-based insurance. So the day you ride your bicycle, you get cover. The day you don't have cover, whatever. So it's whether you've got a boat or a telescope or a bicycle or whatever it is, it's usage-based or activity-based cover. A third one that we've sponsored and we're involved with is called Delta, which is a peer-to-peer environment. So you get peer groups together, they accumulate their funds, we allow them to accumulate their funds as their risk pools decrease, so they pay less and less insurance. And we keep the money for them in a ring-fenced environment. The fourth one we've gone into is something called Ricatech, where we plug in a device into the port of the car and we know the mechanical health of the vehicle. That's very different to telematics. We know where the vehicle is, But knowing the mechanical health means I know if you're going to overheat, I know if your gearbox is down, I know if your brakes are not working, I know if your throttle position is flat out, or if you're doing heavy braking, the actual indicators, not the derived indicators from telematics. So we can go to someone and say, but wouldn't you like to drive your car this way because your brakes will last longer? Not because we're going to penalize your no-claim basis. So we're helping someone with that, and what we're going to do with that is introduce a very compelling motor service model, where we show people that you can actually have a very, very cheap service plan for your car if you go within these bands of usage of your car. So that's the one way of adding value, and where we're going to go with that is we want to look after the final or the future value of a motor vehicle. Again, value-based rather than no-claim bonus-based. No-claim bonus will happen anyway because that goes into the risk. But can you imagine if you know that you're going to trade in a car 5% more value than anybody else because we know how you've been running that car. So that's the value we want to add to the consumer. And lastly with that, we're going to do the same in the home space. So we're going to look after people's homes and then help them sell their homes at a higher price because we've looked after electricity, plumbing, paint, tiles, and we will have warranted all of those services. So you're going to get a product from us that is actually a peace of mind asset product rather than a claims product. So we're going in that direction, all technology based.